Alright, it's been about a month, so it's time for another epic BHL Hudson Reddit video. In case you don't know, I have a Reddit r/BHL Hudson, where you guys can post suggestions for stuff to review, memes, thoughts, polls, whatever. And about once a month, once every couple of weeks, I'll go through it, see what you've posted, you've seen literally every other YouTuber do this, you know how this works. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it. Also, if someone can think of an epic theme song to do for this Reddit segment, that'd be great, because I feel like the introduction of just me syncing the camera and then just saying, yay, it's Reddit time, kind of underwhelming. So, yeah, feel free to make that if you want. First of all, from the Baconator, great name, great sandwich. Never actually had it, but it looks pretty awesome. Have you seen Children of Men? If so, thoughts? I have actually. I've actually seen it very recently, and it's probably one of the best films I've ever seen. I wouldn't count it as one of my favorites, because, my favorite movies are the ones that I love rewatching, and, it's very subjective. And it's an extremely dark, grim, depressing, tense experience. I can't say I liked watching it, I didn't enjoy watching it, but it is a phenomenal film. What sort of stuck out most to me at first was the world building and the social commentary and just how it takes this interesting premise that, in case you don't know, the film is about all the women in the world become infertile, so there are no babies born. And then it builds on that in a realistic way where there are these other side effects to it that maybe you wouldn't think of it immediately, and the world basically goes to hell because of all this. And then there's the whole refugee aspect of it, and just from a filmmaking perspective, the way you see signs in the background and the production design, everything, it just builds this world so perfectly. It's incredible. And then it has very sharp, interesting social commentary. And then just as a film, it's fucking excellent. Pardon my French, but that's what this movie deserves. The tension built in these long one-take scenes. The finale is the most insane one of the most insane pieces of filmmaking I've seen in a while. Where it's just one take through this war zone of a situation. It's incredibly emotional and has a beautiful message about life. It also has so many shocking moments. It's excellently acted. An absolutely phenomenal piece of filmmaking. Highly recommend that to anyone who is interested in watching a good film. It's a great film. What streaming service is best? Ooh, wow. Sucks to be Hulu. I would probably go... Netflix is the easy answer. I watch more Disney Plus original stuff than I do Netflix original stuff, I think. But the thing is, Disney Plus, while it appears on the surface it has all this amazing stuff, when you kind of look into it, I'm it's more specific. I wouldn't, and I guess this is me personally, but I wouldn't watch a Disney animated film on my own, I don't think. I would watch it maybe with family or something. And it has the MCU superhero stuff, so that obviously gives it points. And they also just got the Star thing, which has a ton of just random movies on it, which is pretty great. But Netflix is kind of OP. It'd be between those two, because HBO, I don't have HBO Max, I have HBO Nordic, which is what we have here in Denmark. And it's solid, but it's not, I don't think it can compete. Yeah, I'll probably have to go Netflix. What is the best Quentin Tarantino film? Inglourious, Django, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I'd probably agree with this. Inglourious and Django are pretty tied for me. Both excellent, historical with, Tarantino twist on the actual history of it. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is also great. It's not on the same level to me. It's you have S tier Tarantino, then you have A tier Tarantino. Hollywood would probably be A, maybe even very top of B tier Tarantino. But keep in mind, this is Tarantino. I'm saying Tarantino a lot. So even his high B tier is most people's S tier. He's a great filmmaker. But yeah, I have to go with Django. It has just too many badass moments.
I like the way you die, boy.
It's so memorable. Inglourious as well, but Django just is the one that sticks out to me. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I got a haircut, which I've been complaining about for months and months of videos. So there you go. Boom. Best and worst of David Fincher. Yeah, let me actually see how many David Fincher films I've seen. I've seen Fight Club, seen Seven, seen Social Network. Yeah, okay, so I'm missing quite a few. So yeah, once I get through his filmography. But so far, of the films I have seen, my favorite would probably be The Social Network. Just a very, it's also helped by the Aaron Sorkin script. Just a very sharp, tense, well-made film. And also, the reason I just like that more than Seven, Fight Club is just because, just personal preference, those are extremely well-made films. So Seven is so dark and disgusting and scary, and, you know, I can appreciate the filmmaking, but it's not something that I would, like, just sit down and watch on, like, a Friday afternoon, just for fun. I'm gonna choose to just notice the part where you say "great vids, man," and I'm just gonna ignore the rest of this post. Thank you for saying "great vids, man." I appreciate it. Hello, I'm new here and just wondering what everyone's fave film is. This should be interesting. Zodiac, Hacksaw Ridge, Iron Giant. Hey, Fat Neek 34. We got a KSI fan in the subreddit. That's pretty good. Fellow KSI viewer. Baby Driver, Prisoners, The Greatest Showman. Yeah, you know, good variety of choices here. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That's that's not the Johnny Depp one, right? I'm assuming, because I'm not sure if I can approve of that being someone's favorite film. I mean, I'm kidding. You know, love what you love, but I'm gonna assume you're talking about the Gene Wilder one. I'll say 140 members. Boom. I mean, 0 online at the time of this recording, which is mildly depressing. But hey, 140 members, pretty sick. And my favorite film, I just kind of go with the standard Baby Driver, because, you know, just one I love. Top 5 favorite TV shows. Let's see. Okay. In no particular order, and this is just off the top of my head. Breaking Bad probably has to be number 1. I know it's cliche, but I mean, there's a reason it's cliche. It's a absolutely fantastic show. I'm trying to not swear like every single answer I give. So emotional and cool and dark and fun at times and extremely poignant and just makes you feel every emotion in the book, basically. I would say Game of Thrones, because it was great for about 6 seasons. Well, 7 was okay. Season 8 was so bad that it kind of brings it down a bit. And I never had the same personal attachment. Like, I didn't watch it from the beginning. I watched it, like, all catching up to the 8th season. But it's still a great show. Daredevil would definitely have to be up there. Especially, like, the fact that it stayed consistent. Like, Season 1's fantastic. Season 2 is pretty great. And Season 3 is, like, somehow even better than Season 1. Especially considering how the Netflix Marvel shows kind of were a bit hit and miss towards the end. The fact that that one stayed consistent, you know, it's got to give you some points. I'll be honest, and you probably know this if you watch me, I'm not a huge TV show guy. I haven't seen, like, The Wire. I haven't seen The Sopranos. I haven't seen, like, all these, like, really iconic TV shows. I'm more of a movie guy. Obviously, The Office. I mean, you knew that was coming. But The Office might be up there. It's, like, my number 1 favorite. It's very hard to compare that, like, Breaking Bad. It's the show I've watched the most. I've seen it, you know, countless times. It would be sad to count how many times I've actually watched it through. It's hilarious, and, you know, it has heartfelt, nice moments, and I've watched it with friends and family. I have all these good memories attached to it. The Office has got to be up there. Oh, BoJack Horseman, 100%. BoJack Horseman's up there. Speaking of a show that makes you feel like every emotion, I've never cried as much at a TV show as I did after I think it's the penultimate episode, the one where BoJack, yeah, you know the episode. Like, after that episode, I called a friend, and I was just like, we were just talking about it, and I just like burst into tears. I was like, oh my god, I'm having like an existential crisis. This is like, this show about a horse should not be doing this to me. It's such a deceptive show. It's so good that it has this goofy, you know, cartoon animal human world style to it, and it uses that for its humor, and it has such ridiculous, hilarious storylines, and it's also so, like, interesting and has so much to say about life and these, like, very heavy themes, and it executes it all so well. Excellent show. And then let's say Justice League, the animated show, because I loved that as a kid, and I rewatched quite a bit of it recently. Still a lot of fun. Alright, I love that show. It's a good show. I know there are lots of other things. Maybe I could straight up probably make a video one day of just all the shows I've seen, because, like, I haven't seen that many, or at least not to completion. I mean, yeah, like New Girl's great, obviously. Archer I enjoy a lot of. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Boys. I liked the first season of Westworld a lot. So yeah, we'll see. Also, would you guys be interested in a Westworld review? Because I've seen all of it, and I never really talked about it, and I'd like to, maybe. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. BHL Hudson, can you make a best and worst of Steven Spielberg? Absolutely. One of my favorite directors. When I was a kid, definitely my favorite director. I mean, it's kind of like at that point when you make that many iconic films, you're a legend forever. Like, I know recently his movies haven't been on the same level in a lot of people's opinions, including my own, of like his previous work, which is fine. You know, they're not bad. They're mostly, I think, pretty okay. But once you make like Indiana Jones, E.T., Jaws, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, like not just like amazing adventure films, variety in these films, you're a legend. You're a Hall of Famer, like, forever. Like, if there's a director's Hall of Fame. Yeah, just made some of my favorite movies of all time. The quintessential blockbuster creator. BHL Video Ideas, the future of the MCU, the future of the DCEU. Yeah, I've done a few of those, and yeah, maybe it's time to make another one since some time has passed. The Flash Wishes. That's a shout. Top 10 Office characters, top 10 Office scenes. Yeah, my next Office video is going to be top 10 least favorite Office episodes, and so I feel like I need a palate cleanser after being kind of a dick to like the show that I love. I should do a nice video again. Stranger Things review. Yeah, I actually have seen Stranger Things, so I could talk about it. Pretty good, especially at the start, and then I got kind of less interested as it went, but it was still okay. Cobra Kai review. Yeah, there's someone in my comments as well who's like day 7 of commenting, please review Cobra Kai. I haven't seen The Karate Kid, and I haven't seen Cobra Kai, so it would be a bit of a process for me to get to reviewing it. But I promise, if I do end up watching it, to the guy, I will, okay? I will. What did you think of the Suicide Squad trailer? And most people think it's either good or great. I agree with the good. I put out a post about it, because when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was good, but I think because I had such high expectations for it, I was a little bit like, But the more, then the second trailer came out as well, and the more I kind of like have rewatched it, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm on board with it. Like, this does look actually pretty fantastic. And also, I've noticed with the Guardians films, James Gunn's humor, I feel, doesn't translate super well into trailer format. It works better in the context, like, they can kind of seem a bit cheesy in the trailer, and then when it's in the context of the film, it actually works much better, which I know is the case with, like, quite a lot of humor, but especially James Gunn's. So some of the jokes that fell a little flat for me in the trailer, I think will actually be better in the film. And yeah, it just looks, I mean, I don't really know what I can complain about. It looks like what I was hoping. It's this fun, darkly funny, violent, over-the-top, weird film. I like the appearance of Starro. Really was not expecting that. Like, maybe that character was gonna show up in something. I was not expecting this, but it makes sense because it's such a kind of goofy concept for a character that James Gunn would want to use it. Looks great, honestly. I'm still very excited. Are you watching the animated series Invincible? It releases a new episode every week on Amazon Prime. I am not at the moment. I didn't really know anything about it, so I wasn't like super excited for it, but I've heard a lot about it since then, so if you guys would be interested in that, yeah, let me know if you want to hear me talk about Invincible. An FDK Gaming subreddit. Yes, that's, oh goodness. Oh my god, there's a tag for podcast. Yeah, Frederick is my podcast co-host, and he does have a legendary YouTube channel called FDK Gaming. Never thought I'd be giving that a shout out on the BHL Hudson channel, the prestigious, legendary BHL Hudson channel. But yeah, feel free to check that out, I guess. And now it has a subreddit. This has gone too far. This has gone too far. You need to shut this down. Let's actually see what is on this subreddit. Subscribe to the god himself. Nice. Good. How is there one person online, the FDK Gaming subreddit, and on the BHL? Oh man, that is a disgrace. Rampage 2, Freddy Got Big. Yes, a phenomenal piece of fan art for the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, from GC Green, who's made a lot of fan art for the pod over the years. It's our favorite. What a coincidence. Also, because, you know, it makes a lot of sense why that's on my screen. Rampage, our favorite podcast, our favorite film to talk about on the podcast. And here we have me as Dwayne Johnson. Look at the iconic BHL Hudson smirk, the forehead wrinkle, the sunglasses, the Dunder Mifflin shirt, and of course, my co-host Freddie is in fact George. Yeah, thank you, GC. Excellent fan art. What do you think of Godzilla vs. Kong? Once again, I'm with the poll. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard mixed things. So, we'll see. I'll review it when I've seen it. Okay. Well, it says, P.S. If you see this BHL, don't put this in the video. I'm not looking for free promotion. Very admirable. Yeah, it's just Kian, friend of the pod, who runs the pod fan page, posting a video essay he made. Yeah, I mean, you know, the BHL Hudson Reddit is both for me to, you know, react to, but it's also its own little community. So, well, I like that it's kind of its own community where you can post, you know, kind of like the favorite films thing, like questions for the 140 Big Flex members there and stuff for everyone else to see. So yeah, no worries. What were your thoughts on Hulu's Hellstrom series? While it wasn't nearly my personal favorite TV show to come out of Marvel Television, it was definitely Hellstrom. Oh god, have I really become so bad at my job that I don't even know a new like Marvel show? Hellstrom. I've straight up never even heard of this. This is so embarrassing. I'm supposed to be like, you know, this is my thing. I'm supposed to know this stuff. It's within the MCU. I suck at my job. How have I not even heard of this? I mean, I don't have Hulu, to be fair. Maybe that's why. Consists of 10 episodes, mostly negative reviews, feeling the characters and the plot were uninteresting, though the visual effects were considered impressive. It was canceled about 2 months after it came out. Okay. Here's the thing. When I stopped making the MCU chronological video, I kind of decided that I didn't need to watch everything in the MCU that I didn't, like, necessarily really care to watch. Like, I watched the first season of Runaways, maybe even the second season as well, I can't even remember. And it's solid, but I was forcing myself to watch it. Same thing, and no offense, I know it has huge fans out there. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's a fun, fine show. I don't think it's bad, but I was definitely forcing myself to watch it for that video. With my sometimes limited time, I don't want to like force myself to watch something I don't particularly want to watch. And it's also a bit of a disservice to the thing, because then I think I'll have a negative opinion of it just because like I have to watch it, as opposed to if I just watched it in my own leisurely time. So there are MCU things like if they made more seasons of Runaways or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or even Jessica Jones Season 3, that I haven't seen yet just because it didn't particularly interest me. And this one, yeah, I hadn't even heard of, and I mean, to be honest, I'm getting kind of, just from the review thing that I just read there, getting a little bit Inhumans vibes from it, but probably not that bad. But yeah, didn't even know that was a thing, but I mean, maybe it's worth looking at, but yeah, thanks for letting me know, I guess. But it sounds like I didn't miss out on much. Best and worst of Martin Scorsese. Let's check how many of his films I've seen. Seen Goodfellas, seen Irishman, seen Taxi Driver, Wolf of Wall Street, The Departed, Raging Bull, Hugo, which kind of low-key is like my least favorite movie of all time. Which basically just because I saw it as a kid and I hated it as a kid. It's probably a great film, but I saw it when I was like 9 or something when it came out, and I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. So it just kind of stuck with me. Oh, well, at least I've seen his best film, Shark Tale. To be fair, you know, his voice acting in that isn't bad. It's just, what a movie. But I'll be talking about that soon enough, hopefully. Yeah, so I'm missing like Aviator, King of Comedy, Silence, Shutter Island, that kind of stuff. So I've seen about half of like his main filmography. Yeah, I'll make that as well at some point. Maybe it'll be like a part 1, part 2, because there's so many. Obviously, he's a fantastic filmmaker, and his films are, even though a lot of them are very long, they stay, you don't notice the runtime because they're so like entertaining and well paced, and something him and Tarantino share, like their style makes you forget like a really long runtime. And yeah, that's the Reddit for this week, or this month, or these 2 weeks, whatever it ends up being. So, yeah, thank you for all the posts on the Reddit. It's a great time, very fun. So, the BHL Hudson Reddit, r/BHL Hudson, keep posting on it. I'll check it out every certain period of time. Great stuff. I thoroughly enjoy this. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram and Twitter at BHL_Hudson, check out this podcast that I do with a friend of mine where we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. It's called The Poorly Planned Podcast, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.